This session is about cybersecurity, forensics, and lawful interception. We have two specialists in their own area, but before I invite each of them to make their presentations and speak to us, let me throw up a few points about cybersecurity, which I have tried to garner from a layman's perspective. The first issue that I find quite interesting, that some Western experts have begun to predict that cyber attacks could make 9/11 look like a tea party. But the reality is that they are probably not as threatening as they've been made out to be. More importantly, if more attention is paid to fixing the software flaws, in many companies in particular, cyber attacks could be fewer by the day. Secondly, most attacks are purely criminal, and the sophisticated ones are largely done by states. China often figures, until the recent exposure by Snowden, China used to figure in the list of states that had begun to threaten many countries, primarily business interests and big defense companies in the US. The Economist said that Lockheed Martin believes that some of the designs of aircrafts were taken off by Chinese engineers. The former Indian Home Secretary was on record to say that every day Home Ministry websites in India are attacked by Chinese hackers. They have a military division worth dedicated to hacking. So there is that issue. But apart from China, countries like Russia and Iran, particularly for the Shamoon virus that Iran let loose on Saudi Arabian refineries, or for that matter, by admission now, the Stuxnet virus, which was earlier attributed to the US or Israel, but subsequently state admission, at least at some levels by officials in the US, hit out at Iran's reactors, as many of us would remember. But is the threat as real and as large as it is made out to be? Because Iranian reactors bounced back, as we know, after a few months of, at most, getting their act together. There is also a view that at the corporate level, and private companies in particular, lack experts and professional advisors who don't have a strategic understanding of cyber threats. And while cyberspace could be the new frontier, to conclude now that cyber warfare is the future is perhaps a bit early and exaggerated. Cyber disruption has a nuisance value and is costly to repair, but it can be mitigated. So without further ado, let me first invite Professor Dr. Thomas Ridd, who's from the Department of War Studies at King's College London, and who has been at the forefront of some of the thought that goes